Alrighty then, welcome to Cooking with Dad, potato bread. How many times have you heard,
I'm hungry, Mother. I really am.
Let me fix you some sandwiches.
"Aw, isn't that sweet?
Okay, make me some sandwiches.
If you're gonna make sandwiches, you better go get some bread." Oh my gosh, not that kind of bread. We need the kind of bread you get at the grocery store.
Ruh-roh.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me where the bread is?
I'm not really sure.
What it boils down to is that sometimes there is no bread in the grocery store, and we may have to fend for ourselves and make our own. Are you ready? Let's go. Well, we're supposed to be making a sandwich, so we better get busy before the natives get restless.
Where's my sandwich?
Here you are, dear, just the way you like it.
Well, that's a little over the top, but back in the olden days, we used to have to make bread by hand. But these days, we get to use modern technology, and somebody, thank God, invented the bread machine. Here's a list of ingredients. We'll need a teaspoon of yeast, a tablespoon of sugar, 3/4 cup of warm water, about 110 degrees or so, 2 cups of bread flour, 1/3 cup instant mashed potato flakes, 2 tablespoons of milk powder. I'm using a malted milk powder I found at the grocery store, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1 egg at room temperature, slightly scrambled. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? This is my yeast. I get it at Smart and Final. It costs about $5 a pound, and with a pound you can make about 100 loaves, I think. So we'll go ahead and add a teaspoon of yeast. Then we'll add our sugar. We're going to add a tablespoon of sugar to the bread machine. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add is 3/4 of a cup of warm water. I said in the ingredients list about 110 degrees. It needs to be warm. It can't be too hot because it'll kill the yeast, and if it's not warm enough, it won't activate the yeast. We have sugar in there to help the yeast get going, but to double check the temperature of the water, use a thermometer and go to 110. Once we add the water, we're going to wait a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, until the yeast starts activating. We can usually tell that by the color of the water that we've added the yeast to. It'll start to turn kind of milky and get some bubbles on top. So now we're going to add our flour, which has also our salt and potato flakes in it. It also has 2 tablespoons of malted milk powder. And we're just going to let that get started. And then we're going to add in our oil, butter, and egg. This part here is being filmed in real time. It happens pretty quick once you add these last few ingredients. Okay, as you can see, the flour's starting to grab. Now we're going to, before it finishes, we're going to go ahead and add in our butter and oil. Give that just a few seconds to incorporate. And then lastly, our egg, which is slightly scrambled and at room temperature. All right, we're going to come back in a few minutes and make sure that all the flour has absorbed and we're getting a ball shape. Okay, it's only been about 2 minutes, and as you can see, almost all the flour has been absorbed. We'll check back in about another 3 or 4 minutes and we should have a ball shape. Okay, as you can see from the timer, it started at 3 hours. We're just under 5 minutes and we have a ball shape. And as you can see, all the flour in the bottom is mixed. We haven't touched it at all. This is a very easy way to make bread. All you got to do is set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
You just set it and forget it.
You just set it and you forget about it. You just set it and then forget it.
Well, I think we all know not to take that literally. You can't set it and forget it. But it does give you about 3 hours to clean the house, get the rest of dinner ready, do whatever you want.
I'm here to say I love bread. I love bread.
So our bread just finished a few minutes ago. Oh my goodness. Oh, the smell. Oh my goodness. So this is it. Now, it's kind of firm on top, and I don't like a crispy crust. So we're going to have to get this thing out of here, and we'll do that right now. Hold on, I got to switch positions. Okay, anyway, we're going to pull the bread out, and this, you just turn it and pull it out. Now we have to turn this upside down and knock it out. There's a beater in the bottom. I'll show you once we get it out. And it's going to leave a hole in the bottom of the bread. Okay, it's time for our safety tip of the week. Don't do this at home, please. Always make sure you have a pot holder nearby when baking. It's kind of common sense. This safety tip has been brought to you by your father. We now return you to our scheduled programming, Cooking with Dad, potato bread. Woo, hot. Let me get a pot holder here real quick. Okay. So, we're just going to lift it off, and that's it. Okay, now I'm going to roll it over. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Gosh, if there was smell-o-vision, I need smell-o-vision. Wow, look at that, huh? My goodness. That is just beautiful. Okay, so now what I like to do so that the crust doesn't get hard and it has a chance to cool, it should be on a wire rack, but I've done this a couple times. We're going to cover it up with a towel until it cools off completely, and then we're going to put it in a plastic bag so that the bread stays as soft as possible. Okay, so I got my towel, and we're just going to cover this up. Oh. There we go. It's been about 15 minutes or so. Bread's cooled down considerably, but I wanted to keep this shot. I'm going to show you how delicious this thing looks when you slice it up. All right, can I imagine? Dinner's ready. I was hoping there'd be a little steam in there. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but oh my gosh, this looks so good. And look at the quality of the slice. I mean, it looks so good, so soft. And this next clip is actually another loaf of potato bread that I made, and I believe you can see a little steam on this next clip. So let's look for it. Potato bread finally. I mean, it is so. What? Look at that. Oh my god. And look at the texture. I mean, oh yeah. That's the money shot. That's
so
a money
soft
shot.
and spongy.
Oh, some good looking bread. So delicious.
Can't wait to try it.
Well, hi. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Cooking with Dad. Potato bread. Well, we made it. If you're watching this, you've watched the whole video, and I guess mission accomplished on my behalf. I hope this video has either been informative or educational, or at the very least maybe made you laugh a little bit. I'd like to give a shout out to my family, the ones who love me and support me and encourage me to continue to make these videos. I wish you all the best. Thank you.